Hey, good morning, Sully. How are you today?
Struggling, man. I was partying too hard last night for the Christmas holiday. So
Once again, you were struggling last week too.
yeah, well, I've been trying to kick this. I got this cough that's just kind of sitting in my chest. I thought it was over like Thursday. So go to some friends' parties Saturday or Friday night, and didn't go well this morning. So we're just trying to grind through it though.
You'll make it okay.
I'm getting too old to be hanging out till 2 a.m. You know.
Well, maybe just every once in a while.
Hey, that's all it is, man. Usually Friday nights, man, I'm in bed by about 11:30 midnight. So this is a little bit of a rare occurrence.
All right. Well, you got like what? You got one more weekend to deal with it in this year, and then maybe that could be a resolution for you.
Get refocused for 2018, right? You got any resolutions you're working on?
No, because no one really keeps these resolutions. Resolutions at New Year's is kind of it's one of them. It's just a traditional kind of thing people do, but most people I don't think even follow through on them. So
nah,
not even going to bother. Not even going to bother.
How's the what's your schedule for the weekend? You kind of taking it easy, or are you taking it some hoops games? What you got any last minute stuff to get done?
There's always last-minute stuff to get done, and we'll see how that goes during the course of the day, and maybe I'll get a chance to jump out and see a game today. But I'm not gonna push the issue.
What's the schedule like over your way? I know there's a big tournament down in Wildwood, but I'm not sure what's going on in the rest of South Jersey.
I really haven't taken a serious look at it to kind of see where everybody is at, but there's a couple of games today, but then next week, starting on Tuesday and really getting on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, there's a ton of, there'll be a ton of tournaments that everybody's, these 1 or 2 day events that people are going to be in, and some showcase events here and there that, will be attractive. But, for the most part, it's you can find a place to go. There'll be, double headers here and there, but like I said, I haven't really put as much effort into it as I probably should have right now. But
hey, you gotta take a little break every now and then. I know, myself included. It's some days you're just like, all right, I just can't think about it today. Let me reset the mind a little bit.
Yeah, it's pretty easy now to just go online and if you go to a couple of these conference sites and you can see where everybody's at and kind of pick and choose from that point. So we'll probably do it that way.
Anybody jumping out at you in the first couple of weeks of the season here?
I went out last night and I saw Rancocas Valley and Highland, and there's two teams that both are top 20 teams. In South Jersey, and RV kind of impressed me in that they don't have a lot of height, but they have a lot of they got some athletic kids and some kids that can get out there and play a little defense, and they're not the greatest. They may not be the greatest collection of guys that can shoot the basketball, but they find ways to score. And I think RV is going to be a team that's right now they're 3-0, and Jay Flanagan he's not a perfectionist, but after he knows what he needs to get fixed, and while he's happy to be 3-0. He also knows that the road ahead is going to be much tougher, and to continue to win games and do things that they need to do, they're going to have to get better. So every coach is like that, but there's an RV team, like I said, that could be one at the end of the season to keep an eye on. And Highland's still their top, one of their top players, Afir Brower, is still out with recovering from a broken foot. So they really, once he comes back, which should be, I'm thinking maybe just a couple of weeks, if they can hold down the fort until then, they need him to kind of run the show at the point and let these other guys do, what they're more comfortable doing. So there's two teams right there. And then another game that kind of, I didn't really investigate too much of it, but Morristown, Morristown knocked off Trenton Catholic earlier in the week, and Trenton Catholic has been a team that, based in Mercer County, but has been more or less one of the stronger non-public B teams in the state for quite a while now. And when I saw that score, I was kind of surprised that they had knocked them off. So maybe Morristown's a team to keep an eye on too during the course of the season.
Trenton Catholic has one of the best nicknames too in the state.
You love the Iron Mike.
I do, man. That's right up there with the state liners.
Oh boy. Yeah, but there's, it's obviously it's extremely early. I think there are a couple teams that have really we're today's the 22nd, 23rd, so we're a week in, and there's some teams that have already played 5 games. So you got a couple teams out there that have been playing some games, and other teams that have only maybe played 2, maybe 3 games. So once we get through the holiday weekend, and that's when things will really start to kick in, and when the new get through that new year and come around January 2nd or so, we'll really get into the league play and see what happens. And just off the top of my head, another team I think that kind of jumped out at me right now too is Lenape. Lenape's a team that lost an awful lot of guys, but returned 2 key players in Jake Topolsky and Andrew Sims. They're off to I think they've won their first 2 games, and they put a pretty if you just look at the scoreboard, they put a pretty good spanking on a decent Cherokee team. So things are changing around a little bit, even in these first couple of games. So, like I said, it's going to be a fun time to watch some boys high school basketball.
We're talking with Kevin Minnick, SJVarsity.com, and Kevin, I was looking at some of the standings from over in the Olympic, and the Patriot division. It really strikes me as a pretty interesting division when you look at Seneca's on top, 3-1 overall. But you talk about Timber Creek, Shawnee, Cherry Hill West, and Winslow. That's a pretty competitive division right there.
Yeah, it will be. And right now they've only those teams have probably only played 1 division game. So
right.
But Seneca is off to a nice 3-1 start for the season. That's something to build on, because that's a program that over the past couple of years has struggled. And that's an interesting division. I think when you look at that division specifically, Shawnee is obviously the team to beat. They returned all 5 starters and 2 of their top bench players. They lost their opening game against Gill St. Bernard's, but that's a team that's widely considered one of the top 10, 15 teams in the state. So they bounced back. I believe they won their last 2 games. So they're I think that opener against them really will probably be a huge benefit. And then your team, your favorite in that division, Winslow, right now, not like we talked about, they're off. They've played 3 very good basketball teams already, and they're 0-3. So we got to kind of see what's going on with Winslow, but that division, like the Olympic Conference on a whole, is always extremely difficult, and they play some very tough games. The crossovers are even tougher, and it's obviously one of the premier conferences in the state, and we'll see what happens when down the line. But like I said, Winslow, like we talked about last week, Winslow is a team. They could be 0-3 today. They could be 3-3, 4-3 by next Saturday. So we'll see what happens as the season progresses. Do you think
Timber Creek can hang with Shawnee throughout the remainder of the season? Are they a team that can challenge for that title?
Timber Creek's a team that a lot of obviously you look at Timber Creek and you look at Maurice Murray first off, and Isaiah Sanders second, but Maurice is clearly among the top players in South Jersey. He's got offers from Bowling Green and UTEP. He's a kid who finds his way to get to the basket, but if you have a pretty decent defender on your team and you can slow him down a little bit and really, he may get his points, but no one else kills you, you can beat Timber Creek. But Timber Creek is also on the flip side, they're a very athletic team, and they've got a handful of different kids who can do some things. So can they hang around with Shawnee during the season? I think so. I think Timber Creek is a team that, in Group 3 that will be there at the end. But Shawnee, you look at Shawnee and you just clearly look at the way those kids play together, the experience that they bring back, and the success that they've had, in the last year or so, and they're probably they're a very difficult team to beat.
Hey Kev, for all those real hardcore hoop heads out there in South Jersey, Give us a team or two, or maybe a couple players that we should get out and see if you're really dedicated to high school South Jersey basketball. Who do you need to see this year?
Wow, who do you need? Team wise, if you need to see a couple of teams,
that's my curveball for this week.
Well, you know what? If you really want to see good basketball teams, you've got to see Shawnee. You've got to see Camden. I think a team that's going to be there throughout the season is going to be Atlantic City. They've obviously got a huge game tonight with St. Augustine. St. Augustine, I believe, has won 58 straight Cal games against Cal opponents, and AC's lost to them 6 straight times. And I think if you look at it right now, I mean, you look at it on paper. AC brings back a lot of guys this year, and they're an experienced team. They're a hungry team, and they're playing that game tonight at home. I think they've got a really, really solid chance of winning that game tonight. And, St. Augustine has a little bit of a different look this year. They lost a lot of guys. When you lose guys like Justin Mutz and Austin Kennedy and then throw in a quality kid who kind of played under the radar a little bit in Walter Harvey, St. Augustine lost a ton of guys, a ton of talent, a ton of points, and mainly a ton of experience that, you just can't replace that. So, when you look at teams, that are entertaining, teams that are going to go out and play hard, going to win games, and also throw in the fact that Gene Allen is a really solid coach and an entertaining guy to watch as well. throw Atlantic City into that mix as a team that you're looking for a game in the Cal, Monday, Wednesday, Friday nights, maybe a Saturday. I think Atlantic City is definitely a team to watch too.
Good stuff as always, Kev. What do you got planned for the rest of the weekend? Anything exciting? You're gonna kind of lay low. We're
gonna lay low. We're gonna finish cleaning things up around the house and get ready for the next couple of days, and then we'll see what happens from there.
What's the big Minnick family tradition?
The big Minnick family tradition. Well, I think the one big tradition that we do have still, and even as the kids got older, we have maintained, is the fact that I read the night before Christmas every night, or not every night, every year, and we kind of gather. It's funny, but we kind of gather on the bed and we all sit down and I read the night before Christmas. There's always a little bit of an issue as to where I left the book from year to year, because I read it, I put it away, and I look at it for 364 more days. So I've got to find the book. I've got a pretty good idea where it's at. But
now, do you go full out with the robe and the pipe and all that?
Oh no, there's no dressing up. There's no wardrobe changes or anything like that line. But we definitely do. We do, and I'll sit there and read the book. So I mean, a lot of people have a lot of different kind of traditions, and obviously we do other things too. But that is something we have done every year since my oldest was born. So that's kind of something I think that is nice to maintain.
Will there be any photographic or video evidence of this on Twitter?
Oh, you're looking for video evidence on Twitter? I don't know. Maybe we'll do something a little. Maybe we'll throw a photo out there this year. I don't know. My wife's kind of shaking her head right now, so but we'll see. We'll see what we can do.
Hey, you got to drum up interest, man. Have a little fun with the fans.
Yeah, that's I think every family has a tradition of some sort, and some are just basic little things. Maybe we just get together with the family, or we have we have dinner before on the Christmas Eve or things like that. But there are some other ones that are, people dress up and they get new pajamas, or they, they read a book. But we're gonna read the book.
Awesome, man. Good stuff as always, Kevin. Appreciate it, and enjoy your holiday. I'm sure I'll be seeing you at some point here in the next couple of weeks at one of these big basketball games.
Yeah, I'll be out there. You have a good weekend too, and same to everyone who's dedicated themselves to listening to the show each week. Hope everybody has a nice holiday weekend and nice holiday season.
We appreciate it, man. Thanks, Kevin.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Yep. Thanks, bud.
Bye-bye.
That was Kevin Minnick of SJVarsity.com.